and be mine.
Alright, what's up YouTube? Today I just wanted to show you some of the Digimon decks that I've been playing this year. I posted some content when I first made the channel of like different decks that I messed with when just getting into the game. And yeah, they're not really that great of decks, but like this video will show some other decks that I've been messing with and how I've upgraded these other decks while getting more used to this game. I didn't grow up with Digimon much, so I don't have the nostalgia value, but I mean, it is a pretty fun game, I would say. Still prefer Magic a little bit, but I play this, like I have a locals every Friday that I play at, and I mean, I've messed with these decks, and I've actually topped some locals with some of these decks, or came close to anyway, and they're fun at a local level. I don't think they would ever really, like, get to the competitive side of things, like higher than locals, but they're still really fun to play, and I mean, it's cool because like I like to share stuff that I created myself. I mean, I've looked on the internet for different ideas and stuff, but like these are just decks that I kind of crammed together. Okay, the first deck I wanted to show you today is that I've played a lot. Like this was becoming one of my favorite decks. So I took the concept of the 4 Great Dragons and mixed them with a Mastamon package. Now I've tried several different builds of this, but this is the like final build that I was actually like doing okay with. Like I mean, it was a little luck based sometimes, but like I mean, I think I did win a locals with it once, but I topped a couple more times. But I mean, it's not meta build or anything, but I don't even run Mastamon because I tried it at one and it just didn't really work that well. It's just I call it the Masty 4 Great Dragons because it works really well with this Gatomon. The yellow-purple Gatomon is like really good because basically you can search for purple or yellows, so that's like majority of the deck that you're playing already. There is like 2 cards that's blue, and it doesn't even matter that it's blue. I mean, yeah, you want to just I mean, it gains you memory and draws you cards, and I'm probably going to be making a build around a blue engine with this, because I really like the purple-yellow engine, but I want to try it more with maybe trying dominantly focusing on blue and yellow. But we'll see how that goes in the future. But for now, with the Gato being able to search majority of your deck, it's all purple-yellow on top of most of your level 5s. Actually, they're angels and fallen angels. So literally, it only costs 1 to digivolve into your main pieces here. The level 5 Angel Woman sets the trial up, so if you know how this deck works, you basically get to play these level 6s for free, and you try to give them rush and other things, and you want them to die to reset your trial for another go. So like reading the cards, like the whole deck searches itself. So majority of these cards have on plays to search each other out. So like the Patamon will search for angels. Or a Great Dragon card, which also this option counts down in the corner, is a 4 Great Dragons card. And it sets itself out of security too if they hit it, so it's just, you crack the trial, you get to play one of these dragons for free, hopefully you can give them rush, and honestly, like the main version of this, like where if you're just playing it pure, you're trying to trash, or try to get the 3 pieces here into the grave, or trash pile, and then you play your Goldramon, which it has a really good effect when digivolving. You can add a dragon's card from your grave back into your hand, which could be your trial or pretty much anything really, but anything within the archetype other than like the added stuff. But it has when attacking one of your opponent's Digimon, get neg 6,000 for the turn. Then you can pretty much put your other dragons back in the bottom of your deck, and then you trash 2 of your opponent's security cards. So it could be a good finisher. It was harder to pull off than you think, but trying to get these in the trash. That's why I play 4 Analog Youth, because like not only does it like get a card that you might need in your hand, but it also trashes the rest, so you can fill your graveyard with the dragons that you need. I only played 2 of each of them, and that's all you really need. I've tested it with different ratios. 2 of each is fine, even the gold. Like I said, when I focus on the blue engine, I'm going to be really focusing on this one because it is actually pretty good. I mean, you crack a trial, you play it, draw 2 cards, gain 2 memory, it's not too bad, and then it dies, you play another trial. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do this, probably with a Vidramon and some armor pieces. So And the trial, yes, you don't want to normally hard play at 8. You can. I mean, it draws you a card, but for 8, that's a lot. But like this deck will let you play it for free mostly. And I do play some mats. So Matt is really good because he's a memory tamer for one, but he can also grab your Hell Scythes and Chaos Dags, which are like your best removal pieces. I love these 2 cards a lot, actually. But like recurring the Hell Scythe is like great because not only can you kill or potentially kill something else your opponent controls, you can revive one of the smaller pieces, and they all your level 4s and 3 meet the requirements to summon off a Hell Scythe, and then they trigger to get their on plays to search, and it's just like the whole deck searches itself. You throw your things that you want in the trash their security, get rushers in. I don't play a lot of the other pieces that are part of the archetype, mostly because all you really need is the Gatus that search the Angels. The Angels will help you get into the bigger ones, and you can pretty much filter through your whole deck just to get what you need. I play her because she does give you both color sources, so if you are missing purple and yellow, chances are you're not missing yellow, but there could be, but this one just gives you both your sources, plus you gain just a memory on each of your start of your turn. So if you have her and Matt on the field, you're going to at least start your turn before, which is actually really important too. And she has that extra effect with the Lady and the Angie and Lady effect. It doesn't really come up as often in this build of it, but I mean it can cheat out these Angels. I play one Lady Devi of the one that kind of filters a little more, but then I play 3 Lady, the BT BT3, the old Lady Devi, because not only does it let you draw 3 and pitch 2, you can pitch these the dragons that you need to throw in to the graveyard to trigger the Goldramon. Now this one is a little bit hard, not as great when it becomes to digivolving into a level 6, because it can't really, you can make the purple one, but it's mostly just there just to have draw 3, pitch 2, set up for a kill. But I like it at 3. I mean, it's one of my favorite cards here because it's always been a good card. Plus it has the inherited where you can just delete a level 3 if you play an option, so just removal, smack. And then I play 4 Upas. I mean, you only play 4 level 3s to digivolve onto, so, and most of the time you'll be on playing it anyway. It's one of those decks where you don't really need level 3s. You want all your on plays as much as possible, and it's fine because you can actually get by without having something back here. But I mean, it does help sometimes to just draw a card by digivolving your back and then pushing this up to swing for an extra hit if you need. And then usually you would only do that, and then you'd have 3 or less security anyway, so you can trigger the Upa to draw a card. So yeah, this is the first one I wanted to show you, is just the 4 great dragons that I've been having a lot of fun with this year. Alright, I was so excited when I saw that Undead was an archetype when it first came out. Like, I mean, you know, I mean, just by the name of the channel, Lich and D&D, I love the necromancy. It's like one of my favorite things in D&D. So like when I can do it in card games, it's awesome. It's awesome. Dog. But speaking of dog, there's Dark Animals support this too. Now there is like a black engine to do with this, but I made it mono purple to focus more on the undead, because like there was certain tricks that I was doing, and I really do enjoy this. Like, this is super fun, and obviously this is the best egg for purples. Like, for when the game first came out, or well, BT3 when I started playing. Your stuff dies, you loot, you draw and discard. So it's like, yeah, that's, I mean, you filter your hand when you're, and your undead stuff is going to die a lot. So basically the main premise of this deck is, so you will play a playset of Matt, which is your memory tamer. He grabs pretty much any card you want out of your graveyard when you play him, plus he just sets you to 3, so he's very important. And I do play a 1 of hybrid as like a last minute like finisher. It's actually won me a lot of games just having the 1. And even if you trash it, it's fine, because you're going to grab it back later if you need it with the mat. So you can play the mat, just add your hybrid back, and then finish him on another turn, because it would have summoning sickness, but that's besides the point. I mean, you still have the hybrid, so that your opponent would have to be careful. But basically the Drakemon will look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You can add 1 Dark Animal or Undead to your hand, and then trash a Dark Animal and Undead, and then put the other card on bottom. But you can do them in any order, and basically, what's important is it's inherited is when attacking, you can Digivolve from your trash into an Undead or Dark Animal for its cost on top of the attacking Digimon, so before it connects or does anything else, which is very important for other cards I'm going to show you. The Gabumon inherited will, when attacking, you get to draw and discard, so you get a loot. Looting is very important because you really want to fill the graveyard up with certain pieces that you want in there to Digivolve into later. So I only played the memory blocker in this one, other than like other and like stopping effect, like, because I don't like the Simon in this one, the one that like I forget blanking on what it did, but I know it's another like blocking type thing. But I kind of just focused on the memory blocking one, because like at the time that I was really playing this, that seemed at my locals people were mostly playing like memory gain effects and stuff, which the Ghazi is just the best thing to stop it. Now it is a mammal, so it's not a dark animal or undead, but I mean, it is what it is. Plus you can still revive it with your main boss monster, so that's pretty cool. The Labmon also is not a dark animal, but I mean the level 3s aren't as important for that to be, because mostly you're just digivolving on top of them to get other like things. But the Labmon is another filter effect. I only played 2 of it because it's like a draw 1, pitch 1, so you can put something in your grave, and then if you have enough memory to swing still, you can put it onto the Digimon that you're swinging with. It's really important to loot and filter certain things into the graveyard. And I didn't like the mill strategy because I didn't like milling certain things, so I went more with, I think the filter option is way better than milling cards. I love the good boy, the pupper, the Snaggleloopamon, however you pronounce that, but he has the same effect as the rookie does up here. When it's inherited is you can evolve from trash into an undead or dark animal. Good boy. Yeah, like the hybrid I said, and then 4 Eyesmon. I mean, it always has jamming. Every time I hit security, it never dies like it's supposed to, but it's just another loot effect. When it dies, you can draw 3, discard 2, and then it's big boy Eyesmon that got limited. If you have one of these in trash, you can pretty much just freely play it, and it gains a DP. I do play 2 Witchmon. It's not like the typing is off for what you need it to, but it's also a really good to get a level 4 body on the field if they hit it out of security. Plus it can add back a piece you might need. It returns 1 level 5 or lower Digimon from your trash on play, which it will on play if they hit it out of security. It just goes straight onto the battlefield, so it's another body to hit them with, Digivolve onto, and it gives you a piece back. It's only a 2 of, because you don't really want to draw it. And if you do draw it, you can throw it away when you are just you have a lot of cards in your hand in this deck. You'll be drawing a lot, so you can just throw it away if you don't need it. This card is very important. When you attack, you can discard a card. It gains 3,000, and then it has the effect when you Digivolve from trash on top of it, it reduces it by 1, which is actually really good because 1 memory in this game could actually mean between winning and losing. But if you pitch, you discard a card, the thing you Digivolve into will also keep the 3,000 boost because it's the same Digimon, which has actually kept my Digimon alive before going into the level 6s. And then the Skull Bellucci, if you pitch it, you can Digivolve from your trash and onto any of your Digimon, purple Digimon with Undead or Dark Animal, and it trades for its Digi-Evolution cost. So it's just another way to trigger evolving from your graveyard trash pile. And then it also has, if it itself was Digivolved from trash, if it's deleted, you can delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon. No restrictions, just delete 1. Which is, I mean, it could be it would cause them to not want to delete it, pretty much. I do think that I didn't really see a lot of the spoilers coming up, but I think we're getting more Skull support, and I think that new mat structure deck that's coming out is actually going to have some undead stuff that might go into this. So I am playing, for level 6s, I do play 3 Grand Drake, which is the main boss monster, but I threw in 1 Venom Myotis because he is a dark animal, and so is Golfmon. Now I was trying to figure, when I was playing one of each of these, I was trying to figure out which one was better because I was just going to cut one for a second copy of the other. But I've actually found, I really like playing one of each because it gives me more options when I'm digging through my deck of what I currently need on the field. Now, Golfmon will make all players on Digivolving discard till they only have 5 cards left in hand, so you can throw stuff away that you need in the trash, plus hurting your opponent's hand if they're playing a draw deck. And then whenever you trash a card in your hand, once per turn, on your turn, you can unsuspend one of your Digimon. Which makes, you could just connect again, and he can unsuspend himself too. So you can even use this to go into him, and then he'll have 1500 DP to swing twice, pretty much. Which this one also just has security attack +1, but also whenever your opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, gain a memory. So it's just a memory choker. But if I would have to pick one to cut, it would be the Golfmon. I would just run 2 Venom. But yeah, I like them both. So I mean, if you want to build this deck, mess with both of them. But I do like Venom more, but they both have their uses. But Grand Drake is like the main boss. When you Digivolve into it, you get to play a rookie from your trash, a purple rookie. No, and so basically you can trigger the Grand Drake. You can put this on to block them for their next turn. You can revive, and then or you could revive a Labmon to draw one and pitch one. So it's another filter, and then it has end of attack. You can Digivolve from one of your purple Digimon with Undead or Dark Animal from your trash onto one of your Digimon without paying its mem cost. So let's say you revive Grand Drake, get its effect, and then the attack, it's still alive when the attack's over. You can Digivolve for free into the Good Boy, or basically you can target, even if you already have a level 4 on the field, you can put into your Skull or whatever else. Like it's just a free, pretty much, because you draw a card when you Digivolve too, so you get a +1, then you get to evolve up, and it just helps you with your whole combo. And then I do play 4 removal cards. My friend recommended the Death the Cannon, which is actually really pretty cool, because I was playing cards that could only affect level 6s and lowers, but there's sometimes you need to delete a level 7, which this will help, because if you have 10 cards in your trash, you can delete a level 7 with it. So it deletes a level 6 or lower normally, but if you meet the requirements to delete a level 7, it's easily to do. Plus, if your opponent's playing a mill deck that makes you mill too, it was funny, it happened one time, but they milled this. If it has an extra effect that normally doesn't matter, but when it's milled, it goes to your hand, so it's kind of funny. I got this card in my hand because they milled me. And then Evil Squall, it's just a massive board wipe. But when I first tried this, I was playing more hybrids with that one card, that Schwartz Laser, and this is pretty much almost the same thing, but you don't have to have a bunch of tamers or hybrids on the field to get its effect. You delete 3 of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon, so it's just kill 3 things pretty much if they have little bodies on the field, which is actually pretty useful. Laser is better if you're playing more hybrids and tamers, but this one's better if you don't have as many. And then Calling from Darkness, it's a limited card, of course, but it's just delete 1, return 2, so it's very important for a lot of purple decks to have. And I'll probably end up cutting the purple mem boost. I mean, it helps sometimes, but I'm not a big fan of the mem boosts anymore. They seem like dead cards most of the time. Even playing when you're searching for something kind of gives your opponent, it's hard to explain, but I don't like the mem boosts as much anymore. But I mean, sometimes I'll still play them just to help out, but I'd probably in the future try to figure out something else to do with instead of mem boosts. Peter. Alright, so we got another cool deck here. Alright, so before an older video on this channel, I've done poorly. I feel like it was a poorly made video, but hey, we all got to start somewhere. But I had a Petermon deck where I focused on getting Peter out, and what he does is on play you may play a Tinkermon from your hand or recycle bit of trash without paying its memory cost. So you basically, there was only really one other Tinkermon at the time, and oh, actually there was two, but in this build I don't play the one. I just max out on one of the newer ones, BT10. This one has a on play. You can basically neg check something level 5 or lower on your opponent's sides, which actually helps a lot sometimes. But also you would play this one, Tinkermon, where on deletion you can neg one of your opponent's Digimon. No real level requirement there, it just has to die. But that's the other thing that I did was I had a Lopamon deck where you sat with so this card is really cool because you play a Lopmon. You can play a Lopmon for free by playing this Tamer, and then if you have 3 or fewer security cards, which you probably will when later in the game, you get to draw extra cards per one of her. So like if you have 3, let's just say you have 3 security and it starts your turn, you draw for a turn, and you also draw 1 extra card per Shuchon that you have, which is actually it's really cool because you start drawing a lot of cards. So basically if you haven't seen, I crammed these 2 decks together into one thing, and it actually worked really well. Like I had a lot of fun with this creation. But it's another one that abuses the Hell Scythe package. So since it's a purple-yellow deck, the idea is to kill their stuff with a neg 6 DP, revive Petermon. Petermon gets his on play and revives one of the Tinkermons. So you are trying to throw them in the trash, because it's kind of a rookie rush thing too. Like you're smacking them really fast, but you're expecting your stuff to die, and then you revive them with stuff. So yeah, so basically this Lopamon has an on play, which is a lot of them have on plays too, so that's important for the Hell Scythe trigger. But anyway, on play, you can basically make the Shuchong effect trigger easier. Plus, this gives you more card advantage because you can look at the top card of your security stack and take it, and if you do, draw a card. So that's a +2 for life loss. And then you can also regain life by this one has on play. If you have 3 or fewer and you have your Tamer in play, you recover. So you're constantly like taking your security and recovering it back, kind of like Pulsemon does. I think I never messed with Pulsemon, but that's kind of the idea behind that one, I think. But yeah, that's pretty much on plays, neg your opponent's security, and also do shenanigans with your security stack. Some other smaller creatures that we play is Gazimon, which is a memory blocker, and then I play the Simon in this deck where it says players can't reduce play costs, which is actually really important for the current meta and other things. It's just Simon's really good. If you don't, but the thing is, it says players, so that's why I remember why I don't like it in certain decks, because like the Undead deck I talked about, I reduced the play cost a little bit in that one, so I don't want to block my own, reduced cost. But this one I don't really do that, so Simon is good fit squeeze in. And I do play the one black Gatomon. This has actually won me games too, even just by digivolving on something that I revived with a Hell Scythe, hard playing it if they gave me enough memory, or just like reviving it with Hell Scythe and then swinging with it. It has Rush, so it's really good. You won't ever get your level 4s inheriteds because you don't play any level 5s or 6s in this, so you can ignore the inheriteds on these 2 level 4s, but yeah, they're really good because this one has Rush, and this one has if you have 3 or less security, you recover, so it's a good recovery, and plus it's an emergency blocker if you need it. You want to throw this in trash as soon as possible because it will recover you off a Hell Scythe and give you a blocker if you control a purple Digimon. For Tamers, you play a hell lot of them. I play 4 memory Tamers in this deck. I play a 1 of Kari. Whenever you recover, you can tap her to gain a memory, and she's a memory tamer. I play 2 TKs, TK will let you search your security stack, and if you take a card, if it was yellow, recover. So, and these 2 work really well together. You can TK into something, grab it, and you recover, and it triggers her to gain a memory. That's like a good little combination. But I rely on TK a little more in this one because I want to get certain Digimon in my hand, like the Petermons. I don't want them in my security, I want them in my hand so I can do triggers and stuff. So that's, and then the 4th memory tamer was the Matt down here. He can return a purple card from your trash back to your hand, which is can return your options, so you can return your Hell Scythes to recycle them and keep using them. but he's only a one of because, I mean, you don't play a lot of purple. He's mostly there just to grab your options. You don't really care about the Digimon, but if you need the Digimon, you need him. But he grabs the health size and this other card I'll show in a minute. I play 2 Codys because he's also another memory gain effect. The start of your main phase, if you have a yellow Digimon in play, gain a memory. When one of your Digimon with 2 or more colors attacks, you may suspend this tamer and give something -2, but that will only ever trigger for the Gatomon, Black Gatomon, but the memory gain was really important. He's only a 2 of, but yeah, he's pretty good. He might be willing to be cut for other things in the future, but I liked the actual memory gain on top of a memory tamer. Putting me to 4 was kind of important. So I play she's the main one in the deck, so she, like, I think I've already said it, but like on play she lets you play one of the Lotmons, which they'll get their on plays if they have one, and then it draws you extra cards. Like, it draws you extra cards. You have 3 or less security on the start of your turn. You play 4 baby Kairis, or Karis. This card is very underrated. Like, people don't understand how good this card is, at least in my own personal experience, especially when they start stacking. Your opponents are not going to want to hit you because you tap her to gain a memory whenever a card leaves your security stack. So, and notice how it says all turns, so you can even do it when you're messing with your security stack. You can gain memory by tapping her. So, like, I know she was really good in security control, but she's still just really good, I feel like, to this day. And I like to max out on her if I can in certain decks, because it's just don't hit me, I'll gain my memory and pretty much go to my turn. So, like, if I ever build like a Venom Myotismon deck, which I think they're getting support soon, she'd probably be slapped right in there. And then I play 1 Mimi. Whenever either player plays an option, tap her to gain a memory. So she's just a one of, but she's pretty good. She might be get more copies by replacing Cody's, but she's only a 2-drop to play, so you have leftover memory, might as well slap her down. And then you have a Schwartz Laser. I play this as a 2 of. There's no hybrids in this deck, but you play so many tamers, it can delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon up to the number of tamers you have. So if you have all these tamers on board, which you will later in the game too, you can delete like almost a whole board worth of Digimon. And for the Digimon that go above level 5, I have the 2 of Wyvern's Breath, the neg 15,000 something. Now, I think there are better options now from when I first built this and messed with it at the tournament, but Wyvern's Breath has been a good staple for me for a while. And then of course, the 4 Flame Hell Scythes, one of my favorite cards. And then the 1 Reinforcing Memory Boost. I know I said earlier in the video that I didn't like Memory Boost. This is the only exception, because it's limited for a reason. Look at the top 2 cards, put 1 on your, recover it, and then add the other to your hand. It's just, and it cracks for 3 memory. Like, really? Does everything, but it's really good. The 6 cost drop is not really that big of a deal. So for eggs, I play the 4 Upmons, because you were expecting to have 3 or less security most of the time when you're swinging with your baby rookies. You're going to be drawing an extra card. And you're playing a Rookie Rush kind of, so you want a 5th egg. I have the Koopamon in here. Probably could have a good replacement, probably a Viximon actually. So like, I think I have a Viximon now in real life that I can swap this out with. But this one says when attacking, if you have 5 or more security, draw a card. Which that probably won't trigger that much. It's just a 5th egg, like I said. But Viximon, well, I would actually change this to Vixie, because whenever you play an option with it's above a certain play cost, you draw a card, which is actually better than this. Get down, Mr. President! I love this deck. Alright, so a little story about this deck. Okay, so I was playing this for a while, okay? And this is D-Brigade, okay? But it's my version. I only play the Rookie Rush version. Like, I haven't really tried the built-up version, but it never really interested me. I've been seeing some of the newer cards that are coming out of the next few sets, and I might be playing the upgraded version. Well, upgraded, but I mean like the higher levels ones. But, yes, so this isn't the build I took with me to LA. They had one of those Nats at LA. I think it was this year. Yeah, it was this year, right? Yeah, Nats in LA. Okay. I didn't get my invite, but they had these like little I think they didn't have enough players or something. I forget what it was, but they had like mini tournaments there to win your invite while you were there. So me and my buddy, we went to LA. We were both trying to get our invites. Like, it was more of a vacation. It's like, hey, this is cool. We've never been this far away from home. We live in Ohio, but it was a vacation more than less, but the card game was the excuse to go. So we'd spent part of the day there trying to get our invite to Nats while we were there. It didn't end up happening. I got close because basically you had to win 5 games in a row. It was like single elimination when you entered the small tournaments. And I think I got 3 wins and then lost my 4th one. That was the farthest I got. But I was playing Commandramon Rookie Rush. So like I said, this wasn't the build that I was playing, but I didn't have enough experience with the game at the time either. So it wasn't the best of builds either. I wish I had more experience before I went, especially, and I wish I had this kind of build put together. Because like this one, I have topped my locals at level at least multiple times with this build. It is Rookie Rush with dinosaurs with guns. So it is very, very cool, actually. I love this deck. So you only play 2 level 6s, you play 2 Darkdramons, and you don't even Digivolve into him. He's the old one, not the new one. The new one only works with like the build-up build, but this one is a rusher. Basically, you trash your you want to get all your Commandramons in graveyard, either by swinging at their security and them dying, or throwing them in graveyard with something else, but basically, you can return up to 5, and he reduces his play cost by putting things back on top of your deck. So you can stack your deck in certain ways to make sure you can get what you need later, as well as get a rusher out on the board. I play, and this is the other level 4 that I play. I play 2 Mercurymon. He's basically just a better hybrid, better than the other hybrids, I should say. He has an on-play or Digivolve. He gives something on the field you control blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. So you can give him self-blocker if you don't need to swing with him, or you can give him something you just rookied out, like that can't attack anyway that turn, the blocker, basically. So he's amazing. Yes, he has similar stats to some of the other ones. Like I think one of them has like a play cost, like Grumble has a play cost of 5, but it doesn't have any extra effect. That blocker effect is actually very important, and it doesn't even have to go onto one of your tamers. It just gets it by Digivolving or on playing. I love this card too. I think it's really good. For Hagrulon, whatever. I just say Gear. I play Gear. He pitches a Cyborg machine and draw 2 cards. So he's one way to filter them into the graveyard. Because all the level 3s are machine. Well, not machine. They're cyborgs. So you can pitch them to draw. So you get to draw 2 and fill up your graveyard the way you need it to. This card's very, very important. It wins games on its own. All turns, players can't reduce play costs. Now, yes, it will hurt your Darkdramon play, but you're not relying on that, really. I used to rely on that, like I did in the LA tournament. I maxed out on this, and that was a bad idea, because it was a brick card. You only want 2 of it. You don't really need it. You can win games without it. It's there to help if you need to run over something bigger than it, or you just need a rush play, but you only need 2 of these. And so it's not even a reliance. So you want to play 4 of this to lock out your opponent so they can't reduce play costs, which is actually very important right now. The new Digipolice set is coming out next set, so the time I'm making this video, the Digipolice aren't out. Replace with the Rookie Rush. I'm not going to play this one anymore. There's a new rookie coming out for D Brigade that this card will get replaced with, this Churumon. But basically, it can de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon if it's hit out of security. But otherwise, it's useless, and I hate drawing it. So, and the other I remember the Digipolice card, that rookie is like really good for this deck. I'm gonna love it so much. It's gonna power it up, and the 4 of these come out, 4 of those come in. And then, as a memory blocker, you got your 4 Chumons. Like, I love these decks where you can max out on these like say no cards, because those can actually mean the difference between a win or lose loss, like win rate thing. And of course, you got your little army. You got all of these are Commandramons. You play 4. You max out on all of the rookies. Like not all of them have effects, but that's okay. It's just their name that matters for this. It's one of those decks where the name matters the most. This one just has 5,000 DP. This one has Decoy, which comes up a lot actually for your it can protect one of your other D brigades. This one has Blocker, so it's Rookie Rush with Blocker, so wow. You can be defensive too if you have to. And then this one is really good because when it dies, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you can play a Commandramon for free, pretty much. So you can luck out and get a Blocker or a decoy or just a body in general to hit them with on next turn. And then this one is just a 2-drop, really good 2-drop. It's like if you're going first and you don't want to give them a lot of memory, which you won't really anyway, there's not much in here to give them a lot of memory, but you can just choke them out easier with throwing a 2-drop down. I do play 2 Iron Fist, which can get rid of those pesky level 6s or highers, which are hard to get rid of, or things that your Ultimate Flare can't get rid of. And I play 2 Ultimate Flare, and these 2 Ultimate Flare I like a lot. It's one of my favorite cards in black, along with my other favorite card in black actually is Izzy. I think Izzy, if you're playing a mono black deck, Izzy is like one of the best memory tamers, only because if you're not playing another color, like compared to all the other colors of memory tamers, this one legitimately only costs 3. Even if you think about it, if the opponent has a memory tamer, or not a memory tamer, a memory blocker, let's say they have a Chubon on their field, it still doesn't stop you gaining a memory from this because it is a tamer effect gaining you the memory. So you get to, on play, reveal the top, let's see, it's the top, it's the top 3 cards of your deck. You put them back in any order. You do have to show your opponent, by the way. I learned that, I guess. I mean, I could be wrong, but I've always heard you have to show your opponent what you're stacking back on top. And then you gain a memory. So there's so many good things about this, because if your opponent hits it out of security and they're at 0 and you gain a memory off of them hitting it, it goes to your turn. That has won me games. So like they have one more hit to connect. They like have another rookie or whatever they have to hit me, but they're at 0, and like so they have to hit me twice, and this is the last card of my security stack. They hit this, I gain memory, it goes to my turn, and I wipe them out with the rookies. Like I've won. I actually came in first place at locals because it was the final round, and I was going to lose it. Well, at least I won game 1. We were in game 2. I was going to lose game 2, but he hit the Izzy as my last security. It passed my turn, and I finished him off with my machine guns. And then I play 2 Kazus. Kazu's good because if you have your Izzy out already, you're going to usually go to 4, because on the start of your turn, if you have a cyborg or machine in play, you gain memory, which all of them are cyborgs, and then, well, all the Commandramons are anyway, and the gear is machine, so it counts too. And then, so yeah, it's just an extra gain memory, and plus it's a loot effect. Whenever one of your machines becomes suspended, you can basically tap him to draw and discard. Another reason I play him is he's a 3-drop tamer. Along with I wanted more tamers for the Mercurymon play, because Mercurymon is really good. And then for eggs, I play 5 eggs because it is Rookie Rush. You don't want to run out of eggs, so I have 4 Pagus, which also you stack your deck a lot, so you can put your thing's gonna die, so you stack your deck with things you want on top, and then you loot it after your thing dies with Pagumon's effect. And then you play this one. I mean, if it has the same name as something else on the field, it gains 2,000 DP. It can turn your biggest rookie into a 7,000 beater, which is pretty good. Yeah, so like that was a good little story. Like I took this deck to LA, didn't win, but I got close. Like I said, 3 out of 5 wins in a row for could get my invite. But LA was pretty fun, and yeah, I think I'm gonna keep messing with D Brigade because D Brigade is just really fun. Like, who doesn't love a dinosaur with a gun? Alright guys, the ice cream truck has arrived, and we have the popsicle deck. Alright, so Hexablau, let me just say, I like this art better than his alt art that got printed recently. But the Popsicle Man here, we got a blue deck. It's really the only ever blue deck I've ever played, other than Lazy Security, where I played almost every color. But this is the mono blue. It's mostly blue hybrids, but you sit on Hexablau. He used to be a meta-breaking card when he first came out back in, let's see, what set was that? Should say BT5. He was like he was a really good either anti-meta or meta, I'm not sure, but he was just a really busted card back then. He's kind of been power crept now, but let me just tell you what he does. When he attacks, okay, he trashes, so yeah, you're going to be trashing a lot of your opponent's sources, but on attacking, he trashes 2 sources from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if your opponent has a Digimon with no if it's naked, pretty much, he gains jamming. Which, in an old build, if I had, I would give him extra security attacks and just let him hit with jamming. That's not as important. This is more of a hybrid rush type style deck. He's just there to help rip sources, and the most important part is all turns. Your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards cannot attack or block. So you turn off blockers, you turn off, they can't hit you back if they're naked, and basically you pretty much play everything you can to strip sources, almost. So for the rookies, you play 4 Watermelon Boys, Madoki. Hopefully they don't pop your melons, because it's a memory blocker. Blukamon, it's inherit. You want to usually evolve this onto your egg because you don't want to really hard drop him for 4. But his inherited's good. When you strip a source, gain a memory back, so that helps a lot. Same with this has the exact same effect. It's a promo one though. The Gomon, you strip a source, gain a memory. So you play pretty much 8 source effects of the same effect. This one's just. The differences between them is he costs 4 to drop, but he has 3,000 DP, and this one's 3 drop, but only has 1,000 DP. So for hybrids, you play 4 of the newer Lanamon. This one's cool because you can give something else jamming. It says if a card, basically when you Digivolve into it, on one of your tamers. Well, not even on your tamers. It just says, I mean, it can Digivolve on a tamer, but if you just Digivolve it in general, you can tuck a level 3 Digimon from your hand under one of your blue Digimon. And then this Digimon gains jamming, so you can basically give jamming to something. And then this one is an older one, hybrid, when they first came out, I think. BT7, I can't remember. Is that the hybrids? Anyway, that don't matter. But basically, he just when he Digivolves, he trashes a source, which could trigger. You can even like Digivolve him on top of one of your rookies here, and then trash a source, and then that's inherited will trigger to gain a memory back. So he could potentially, if you think about it, you'd only be a one Digivolve because you're gaining a memory block back. But I can't talk today. Beowulf is your level 5. You play 4 of it. I loved Beowulf's story, but basically Beowulf, he is also a hybrid himself. When one of your Digimon with a tamer card and its Digivolution cards would Digivolve into this card from your hand, reduce the memory cost of 2. So basically, he can evolve for 1 if you're evolving onto a hybrid. Basically, when attacking, you can return one of your hybrid sources back into your hand so you can reuse it for later, and then you can bounce one of your opponent's Digimon that is level 4 lower back to their hand. So it's a little bit more of a recycle your hybrids, and then also you draw a card, of course, for Digivolution, and he's a level 5, and then he gives you access to Digivolve into Hex, which you only play 3 of because you want to see it, but you don't want to brick too many on him. And sometimes you can just hard drop him, and it can screw over your opponent if they don't have a way to get rid of him, and they're playing a deck that I can't think of an example, but I mean, even back in the day too, it's like if they were just playing a rookie rush deck themselves and they don't really build up at all, you drop a Hex on them, they're done. They don't have a way to remove it, they're done. Like, they can't attack, they can't block, you just chip away, it's game over. So Hex is really fun. Like, the funny story is I didn't even build it back then because it was like meta. I just look at the artwork on that guy. Like, it's pretty. Like, I call him Popsicle Boy now as a joke, but like when I first saw him, I was like, this is sick. Like, this is cool. Kind of wish I watched Digimon when I was a kid because I probably like love this guy. And then I got for the tamers, you play 4 Davis. He's just your memory tamer. Also, he has a loot effect. And then Sora and Joe is, in my opinion, one of the best blue tamers. Like, I think this card, I know it's probably not like, I'm probably wrong when saying this, but I feel like this card should have been hit. I mean, Tommy is good, yes, and he's the next card I'll show you. But this one is just like, if your opponent has a Digimon with no sources, which you're playing a deck stripping all their sources, you just gain 2 memory on the start of your turn. So it's like, and then when you attack with a blue Digimon, you can strip 2 sources by tapping it. So it's like, that part don't matter. It's just that, like, the 2 memory gain on top of combining it with a Davis or any memory tamer in general is just, you start your turn automatically at 5 memory, if you think about it. You get set to 3, you go to 5 by gaining 2. Their tamer effects, so they can't block it, like block the memory gain, and it's just like, hey, I'm gonna go to 5 regardless on the start of my turn, which is insanely good. So, like, I'm not saying by itself compared with any memory tamer. So you can even just throw this into any kind of deck, really, even if you're not playing blue, because you combine it to a memory tamer, and the chances that they have a naked Digimon, you're going to be set to 5 regardless. And then, the Tommy is limited. On play, trash 3 sources from one of your opponent's Digimon, but he actually has an inherited where you can stun one of your opponent's Digimon. They can't attack when attacking. It can give basically your hybrid an attacking trigger. His on play is a lot better, just trashing sources. And then we play 1 Cocytus Breath. Probably should bump it up. I only played 1, only needed 1, but yeah, it probably should be higher than 1. Now playing when I was playing testing it, I think one of the reasons too was like I only owned a copy and nobody would like lend me one, or like I couldn't find another copy anywhere, so I only played 1 in like the tournaments, and I didn't really feel the need to go hunt another one. But basically it just returns one of your opponent's Digimon to the tan and trashes the sources pretty much. So it's like, it's a removal for things that you would have problems with pretty much if you had anything. Because like I don't honestly, playing the deck, I mean, I maxed out on Boring Storm and Hammer Spark. I would probably keep the Hammer Spark because I like this little memory trap thing. Like, even if they do hit you, they're probably going to hit your Hammer Spark or your one of Ice Wall, which Ice Wall is just a stun card. Well, not a stun card, but discourage card itself, where if they attack you, you gain 2 memory on their next turn. But its security effect is gain 2 memory. So you're pretty much playing 5 security effects here, combined with the Hammer Spark to gain 2 memory if they hit it. So it will easily go back to your turn. On top of the Boring Storm, just I mean, if you can play it for 1, so if you have all this extra memory and you need to keep drawing cards, its effect for 1 is draw a card. They hit it out of security, draw 2 cards. Boring Storm would probably be a card I would change out for more Cocytus Breaths, but Boring Storm is funny at 4 because you can just keep drawing if they do hit you. I would probably still play it, but maybe not at 4. And then this card is like an option version of Hexablow, but its effect is trash 4 of one of your opponent's Digimon until end of your opponent's turn. All your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolutions can't attack. So it doesn't have the blocking cause where you stop them from blocking, but you can pretty much strip 4 sources from something that might be really big, and then it's a blanketed effect of their nakeds can't attack. And then Howling Memory Boost kind of has that stun effect too. It's a memory boost that would probably, even though like certain memory boosts in the future I'm probably not going to really be playing, Howling Memory Boost is more played for the trash 2 and stun effect, because you trash 2 of one of your opponent's Digimon, then one of your opponent's Digimon with no sources can't attack or block. So those are 2 separate effects pretty much. You can strip 2 sources and target a different Digimon with the can't attack as long as it's naked effect. But and then yeah, it's a memory boost, so you can crack it for 2 memory, but that's not the reason I play this one. It's just trash 2. The stun effect is the important one. And then for the eggs, pretty simple. Inherited, once per turn. If you trash a source, draw a card. So you're going to be, with your rookies, gain a memory, and with this underneath, draw a card. So it's a good combination. I did play a 5th egg. I play Upa when attacking. If your opponent has a naked, draw a card. So it's just, why not? I mean, you could pretty much play just 4 of one of these. Like, you could play 4 Upas if you prefer that effect, or cut the Upa and play 4 of these, or just play it like I do, 4 of these and 1 Upa. I don't know. I like the one Upa. I like playing 5 eggs when I can, but I understand the most of the time you only want to play forge so you can see the guaranteed egg that you have. And last but certainly not least, we have Daddy Dan Devimon. Dan Devimon, the Fallen Angel. One of my, I just, the aesthetic of this guy is amazing, and I like his Venom art, like the one that makes him look like Venom, his alt art, but this one is cool too. I always, and now like when I digivolve into him, I just say Dad, and then I've gotten other people to just say Dad when talking about him, and it's like, no, he's not even Dad, he's just Dan Devi, but I call him Dad. The devil is my father. This deck is pretty much just all the Dan Devis. Well, not all of them, but basically it focuses around this name. Basically, you can cheat this guy out, the level 6 out, basically by focusing on the rookie here, the Demi-Devi. It's on deletion if you have 7 or more names with Devimon in their name in your trash. You can play one Dan or Dad, Daddy, from the graveyard without paying its memory cost. So basically, you can build this up onto this, and as long as you have 7 names, which I'll show you is going to be insanely easy to do, as long as he's in your trash, you just get a hard play him. And then his effect is when a card leaves your security stack on your opponent's turn once per turn, you trash one of their securities. So it's kind of like if you hit me, I hit you type of deal. And on deletion, you trash 2 cards in their hand, which it is possible. It is insanely hard to do, but I have done it one time out of all the times I've played this deck, and I did play it a lot, where you can loop him to like bring him back, sack him, bring him back to try to empty out your opponent's hand. That's not what you're going for. I'm sure you could probably build around trying to do that, especially with other support like Golfmon and other things that rip cards out of your opponent's hand, but it's just not the optimal thing to do. The trash 2 in their hand is not really that important. What is important is, and actually not even the effect to trash from their stuff is important either. It's just another body to hit them with. And plus, actually, some of these Devis actually have some pretty decent effects, and I know we're getting more support soon too. So I'm happy to keep messing with this. But it's another one of those, it's not a mill deck, it's more of a filter purple deck. And I'll just explain the eggs first. Of course, you play the 4 Demis. The loot effect, when it dies, you draw 1, pitch 1 to put exactly what you need in the graveyard. And then this one is a newer one, EX4, on deletion, if not deleted by battle, gain a memory. So there is some sack effects in here where you sacrifice your guys, so you can just gain a memory by doing that. So you play 4 of the this Gabu, which has the inherited loot when attacking, draw, and pitch. Like the main card of the deck that gets your boss out quickly. When deleted, you get a revive Dan from the grave by having 7 names in the graveyard. This one is good because on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add a Tamer card among them to your hand, and then you can trash a purple Digimon among them. Place the remaining cards on bottom, so it can search for your Matt, which is he probably could play other Tamer. Well, no, there's Analog here too. I forgot about him almost. He can add a Tamer to hand, and then he can put one of your purple Digimon in trash for you to set up plays. So he's actually good, and I was actually wondering about that effect the other day. I was like, what's something that just searches Tamers, like regardless of color or whatever, and that's like add 1 Tamer card and 1 them to your hand. So yeah, he's just good to Tamer search. And then you play 4 of your blocker guy here. He's one of the older ones with blocker when attacking, lose memory, but that's not important. He's the name, so he has the Devi name to help with the effect of the rookie, and on top of that, he only costs 1 to digivolve onto a level 3, so it's a good way to like turn 1. You can hatch if you're going first. Pretty much, you can hatch, digivolve into the level 3. And then digivolve into a level 4 for 1 with him. So you draw 2 cards, and you're only giving them 1 memory on their first turn. So that's a good. That happens often when you're playing 4 of these. The other Devimon has Retao. It's another name, and the Retail is really good. Plus, his inherited gives the new Digimon that he evolved up into, Retail. 4 Eismon and Daddy Eismon. These are just really cool. I wonder. Yeah, the Eismons are actually aesthetically cool too. Like, yeah, they should do some more with this because like this is pretty cool. I just like it. Like, it's like a shadow demon or something from D&D. And then I play the same concept as I did explained in another deck profile. I only play in purple decks. I play the one hybrid, so it's not eating up a lot of space with hybrids. And plus, even if I trash it later, I can pick it back up with Matt, because Matt just recovers a purple card. It can be an option or a Digimon as long as it's purple. And it's a Digimon or option, you add it back to your hand. So when you on play, and he's a memory tamer, so you can get your hybrid back to set up for a hybrid play the next turn. So you only need one. Don't play more than one, especially in this one where I usually like to play 4 memory tamers if I can, but I couldn't really find the space when building this, so I only played 3. But I have Analog Youth in here. He gains memory too, and he's important. I'll explain when I get to him. Your level 5s you max out on Lady Devi. When digivolving, you draw 2, pitch 2, and then, so technically 3 because you get your digivolve draw, then you draw 2, then pitch 2. And then it's inherited. When you use an option, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. Just good all around. And then 4 Neo Devi, which is like really good against opponents playing hybrid, or not hybrid, tamers. If they play a tamer on their turn, gain 3 memory, so it deters them from playing their own tamers. And then it's inherited is when your opponent's tamer becomes suspended, gain a memory. So it's pretty good. And I wonder, I mean, if you have a way to mess with it, maybe with Quartzmon, maybe you suspend everything and you gain a bunch of memory by doing that. If they have tamers and you suspend them, and then that will trigger it. I hope I didn't give someone a toxic idea for Quartzmon, but I mean, Neo Devi's not as bad as people think he is. I play 2 Nidhogg's. You can digivolve into him, but he's mostly there for the discard effect. When you trash him, you gain a memory. And you can recycle him off a mat too, so you can pitch him, gain a memory. When you play your mat, add it back to pitch again to gain another memory. When you do digivolve into him, you can trash a card in your hand to delete an opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Some people actually in their purple decks play a lot more than him. Sometimes they play 1. I like the sweet spot at 2. And then you play, of course, 4 of the main boss of the deck. I play 2 Pandemonium Flame. This is a 2-drop option where you delete one of your Digimon to delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with level less than or equal to the Digimon's deleted level. Its security effect is delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So what's cool about this is you can hit with something. Let's say Dan was on the field and you built up for him, and you have their rookie set up underneath him, and you have the necessary names in the graveyard to revive him. You can swing with Dan, maybe, yeah. So you can swing with Dan, hit security if, let's say, he lives, and then you there's an annoying threat on the field that's level 6 or lower. You can Pandemonium Flame your Dan, so you'll get all your death triggers, because you'll have death triggers on Dan. Plus, you get to delete. So you delete one of their Digimon. Dan will discard 2 cards out of their hand, and your effect here on your rookie will bring Dan right back to the field. So he just revives himself at that point. Other options that delete your stuff for you is Revive from Darkness. So this is another cool one. Delete one of your purple Digimon, then you may play a level 5 or lower purple from your trash without paying its memory cost. Doesn't get its on play, but that's not what's important. You don't even have your level 5 purples don't have on play, but I think it can actually, yeah, it can revive lower than that too. So you could get something else like a blocker or something if you need it. But the main thing is, like, same setup with the Pandemonium Flame. You do this combo where you hit them. Instead of deleting one of their Digimon, you revive a level 5, so one of these 2. You can get your Neo Devi back to memory, Tamer Discourage again. And you trigger Dan's effect for make him discard 2. And plus whatever other effects on the... And then you get a revive Dan back if you have the setup. And if Lady Devi was under him, before the option resolves to delete him, I believe, you get to delete one of their rookies, or their level 3s, because of the inherited on Lady. And then you play the 1 call, which recovers 2 purple Digimon from your trash to your hand for a 1 cost, so it's even another option that deletes one of your Digimon for you for the effects. You play 2 Analog Youth. The only card that's not purple in here, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add any Digimon to your hand, trash the remaining cards, so it fills the graveyard up and you get something out of it. And then, I think that was also another reason I wasn't too concerned about playing formats, because memory tamers are important in this game, but I didn't want to throw too many things away, like options / tamer wise. So basically, I mean, he's a filter, he fills your graveyard up, and he has the extra effect when one of your level, all turns, when one of your level 5 Digimon with a source is deleted, suspend him, gain a memory, and you can hatch an egg. So he's just a memory gain that way, and you can obviously trigger it yourself with one of your own deletion effects to do that memory gain and hatch, so you can speed up things a little bit. And you play 3 memory tamer, add any purple Digimon / option to your hand when on play. And I already just talked about the eggs, but this was one of my first, like I said, even though I'm going over it last, it's not like nearly like I didn't really do these in any order of like favorite or anything. I just kind of had all the lists on my phone and just put them together randomly to go over. But this is one of my favorite decks too. Out of all the decks I explained today, I don't know which one necessarily would be my favorite. I mean, I've played a lot of the Commandramon one, but I know this one is just aesthetic wise because I like the art on these guys. It's pretty cool.
I need something like new magic, a new tactic, something that can help me take a stab at it. I wanna move past it, I need some new traffic. Up in my head, make some space for a new path. And no one really gets what I'm going through, I'm showing you. But we're too self-obsessed to be noticing the growing mood. Anxiety is on the rise, can't you see it growing too? I need some peace of mind, anything to help me going through. All these thoughts in my head, thoughts in my bed, taught me to dread every night, but instead I just need a little bit of light in my head. Positive thoughts, they just might beat the stress.